Oh man, that is so frustrating. It keeps disconnecting.
Record.
Alright, guys. And it didn't even record what I asked it to. That is so ridiculous. Okay, so are we live still here? Are we live? Yeah, so guys, we're now in the 950 macro. And if you guys pay attention here, are these any of these equal highs? No, they are not. So no equal highs that formed. Let's look on the 15 and see if there's anything here. No, not really. There is this big order block here, guys, in combination with the 50% level. But I'm still not convinced that we're done with upside. This this major sell side liquidity typically acts as a magnet, and we have these perfect equal highs here on the 15-minute chart that I think need to hit before we see like a bunch more downside. But you know, because we hit the 50% retracement, then we could see more downside here. Let's look at the 3-minute quick. No, there's nothing obvious there. 2-minute, nothing great. 1 minute. I don't like anything here. I mean, the draw could easily be this right here, right? For all these people that are long in the markets. But I just don't like what I'm seeing. So right now, we are rejecting from here. I'm just going to label it as a standard FEG, right? So one of two things can happen here. Either we're going to bounce if we draw. I'm going to take this wick and draw the quarterly levels. So we could bounce from the 75 level, or actually it's the 25 level, but regardless, it doesn't really matter. We could bounce from here, and then we could see new highs and then come back down later, or we could just take it all out now. Yeah, guys, so again, we're just looking at this level, right? We take from low to high. Or let's do it the opposite. Let's go high to low. So we're paying attention to the quarterly levels of this wick. But everything here to me right now is low probability. I don't like what I'm seeing, to be honest. But there's so many different ways the algorithm can manipulate here. We could go up and take out this internal high before continuing lower to sell side, or we can just take it all out right now. But yeah, not a huge fan of what I'm seeing right now. But this seems like the draw, obviously. We did have this, you know, this IFVG right here, right, that we closed below. Then we came back, we retested this FEG within an FEG, and now we're continuing down. So the odds are now very high that we're going to hit this data low. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but... You guys can try a 1-to-1 trade if you want, but to me it's just not worth it. Yeah, so QQQ is seeing a nice pullback here, $3 move. I have my limit order for QQQ sells around 167.90. That's where I ultimately want us to go before a continuation down. Yeah, Tesla's dumping, SOXL is dumping. I sold this, wow, I literally sold this at almost the top. No, actually I didn't. I sold it at like 35.20, something like that. AVGO's down. Google's down, Nvidia's down, Apple is slightly down. Let's look at the general markets. How's Starbucks doing today? After that 20-something% move yesterday. Down 2%. Look at this move. That is crazy. That is actually unbelievable. Oh, Bitcoin is taking a nice little dumpy. What else is looking good? Shopify is up nicely, obviously. That one we're holding. Like I said, that is a long swing. My first take profit will be 77.83, then 83.39, then 91.57. Final TP at 98.85. Those will be my 4 take profit areas for this swing trade. Disney not doing shit. I actually lost on this swing trade personally. My stop was at 85. This was the risk reward for anyone that was wondering. And it came from a monthly level. Yeah, so the goal was to add, I added here, right, at the bottom of this FEG. Stop loss was going to be this internal low, and then final take profits would be at 126, but never hit. So you win some, you lose some, guys. That's part of trading. You have to manage your risk. Yeah, I'm looking to add more Chipotle if we can get below 44. That's going to be ideal for me. It might not get it, but I've already started adding a bit. But that's something I'm looking at soon. All right, guys, data low is close to getting hit. Data low is close to getting hit. This is going to be an area where we could potentially see a reversal. But we don't know yet. I like to keep equal highs on my charts and equal lows that have been hit because, like I've said many times, they tend to act as a magnet for price. So, like for example, let me just delete some of this off my chart. All right, let's see if the data low hits. Again, guys, this is a terrible RR. The trade should have been taken up here. It's an IFEG, of course. We closed below, we came back, rebalanced it, and it was within another fair value gap that we rejected from, and it was in the 950 to 1010 macro. So it's probably going to hit right now, but let's see. And then only once we get here can you potentially look for a reversal. But what do I see as far as reversal is concerned? Not much. I mean, there's not really any obvious fair value gaps. If we go over to the higher time frames, the 2-minute, the 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute, there's nothing. Like, this is such ugly price action. There's this little one, but it's not anything that I think is like fantastic, I'll be honest. And look, the level I've been calling out for weeks. If you go on my Twitter, Castle Capital, 19,167.50, that is the 50% retracement of the entire leg that I've been talking about for weeks, right? This whole down move we've had on NQ or QQQ, if you take a Fibonacci tool and you draw it from the high, from the low to the high, or the high to the low, whichever one you want, you will see a 50% retracement right there. That is where our target is. Right, and look where we rejected from exactly, 50%. But do I think that the up move is over? No. I think at minimum we're going to take out these equal highs right here and the 50% of this 4-hour FEG. Like I've said many a times, right? So at minimum, I think we're going up to the 50% level, which we've tagged, and also the equal highs at 19,236.25. Yeah. So what are we looking at now? We're waiting for the data low to get taken. Now is not the time to enter the move, like I've said. This was the IFEG that we closed below. We came down, retested within an internal fair value gap, dumped, and now we're in the macro time. So in theory, this down move should happen within this time frame, 950 to 1010. It's currently 1002, right? So we're expecting this move to happen in the next 8 minutes. So if you were in this, you should have been taking it from here, not from down here. If you really want to risk, you can try a 1-to-1 trade from here. You know, like if you want to take a short, right? You could try a 1-to-1, but is it worth it at this point? In my opinion, no. That's not good trading. It's not good risk to reward. It's not a good habit to chase trades like this. You should be waiting for optimal entries, right? An optimal entry is something like this, because it follows a trading rule. What was the trading plan? We took out 50% of the leg. We closed below an IFEG. We have a data candle wick, data low that formed, and we're trading within a fair value gap within an inverse fair value gap, and it's within a macro time that's about to form. So this was the area to take the trade, okay? But again, once this data low gets taken out, for me, it's permissible that we go up to these areas, but there's not really a fantastic fair value gap to look at. I mean, I don't see much here. If we take these off now, right, I'm going to a little bit of a higher time frame than the 1 minute, just to like get a better picture of what's going on. There's no fair value gaps. There's this small one right here, but it's not obvious enough for me to be like, you know what, this is going to drive us higher. And the fact that we've already hit the 50% level, to me, this is the daily move for today. Like, if we get this, great. This is where I'm going to reduce a lot of my swing position. By the way, if you're not on the Discord, you guys can join, but I've been calling QQQ swings for the last like 7 days, and my final take profits are going to be these two levels right here. Where do these come from? 19,236.25. If we go to the 15-minute chart, these were equal highs. By the way, if you trade futures and you don't know much about how futures work, when you have two candles that form, right, and they have perfect equal highs, so in this case, if you look right here, look at this number. The high of this candle is 19,236.25, and the second candle next to it, the high is 19,236.25. So these are perfectly equal highs. When you see that in the market, it acts as a magnet for price. The algorithm, whether or not you want to believe it, the markets run on an algorithm. They are drawn to those areas as liquidity. They are designed to take those levels out, and then they signify, typically they'll signify a reversal. So in this case, that 19,236.25 level is where I want to hit. And then after that, I want to see this 50% level taken out of the 4-hour fair value gap. Right? Comes from this right here. So that's where I want to see the market go. Yep. What is Bob saying? Do you think those equal highs will hit today? Yeah, I do think they're going to hit at some point. It might not be today because, like I said, we hit the 50% level of this whole leg. So that can signify a small, a short-term sell model to rebalance some part of this whole leg. Yeah, so for now, I don't know. Okay, guys, this one-to-one trade is working. But again, if it happens, it's luck. It's not a proper entry model. So a lot of the times what the market will do here, for example, is it'll punish chasers, right? It'll punish people that wanted to chase this move, and it will inverse this and go up here and then do the reversal. It's possible that happens. In fact, let's just paper trade, guys. Why not? If we go to trade, if we sell one NQ here. Yeah, I actually can't stand this. It sucks to be paper trading because you literally cannot even track your positions. It's so annoying that they do this. I don't know why it does this, but it does. Take profit is the data low, and we're just going to do a one-to-one stop loss at this internal high. And we will reset it. Sorry that I keep having to go back and forth here, guys. It's just what happens with this stupid paper trading. I'm not sure why, but... So let's see if the market punishes us or not. If we're being degenerate paper traders, we can take these trades, but you should never take this in real life. So what do I expect to happen here? Well, Technically, we should see this fair value gap right here reject and continue us lower, but a lot of the times the market likes to punish people that chase, and it will inverse this, take out this high, and then the move down will happen later on in the day. But let's see what happens this time. Again, this is a paper trade for fun. So with that down move right there, you should definitely move your stops to break even. So I just moved my stop to break even, but it's not registering on this paper trading for whatever reason. All right, we just got our 550 out of the market right there. Look how it took us out on the wick, right? But now I have to reset the account because it doesn't adjust for whatever stupid reason. Look at that. So a nice 550 for chasing paper trade. Now that has happened, we can potentially look for a reversal here. This would be a scalp in my eyes. Right, so we took out the data low. But I don't think this is the end. I think we're probably going to dip down to these equal highs now. Like I've told you guys, equal highs and equal lows, after they've been taken out, they still act as a magnet for price. The market still tends to rebalance them. It's just a thing that happens. So I would fully expect now for this to get taken out. Because that was a lot of strength. There was a displacement below this low. It's not like we just touched and then immediately rebalanced, right? So that tells me that we're probably going to go lower here. How is the rest of the market doing? Oh, look at this rejection. Yeah, this could easily be the start of the sell program. Intermediate term sell program. But we dropped $4. This is if you just have 10 shares, that's a $40 drop of QQQ. Let's look at the Mag 7. SOXL down 4%. I am so glad I locked in some of my profits earlier. Oh, that's good. That's good. Guys, if you haven't tried crystal water from Thailand, the best stuff in the game. Never had better water in my life. Even though it is ultra filtered, not spring water, it's still pretty good. All right, guys, it's still pretty good. Oh. Tesla, wow, huge dump to 201 now. That's crazy. Tesla does not get a break. It literally gets 0 breaks. It's crazy. All right, guys, look at this. NQ is probably going to come down and hit this now. So what are we looking at, for example, on the hourly chart? Well, one of the very short ways that you can try and calculate this is just draw from the previous leg, high to low, and we will mark it as a 1.5 fib. Hold on, guys. Hold on here. Yeah, so now that we've rebalanced, I mean, we've balanced the 50% level, at minimum, we're probably going to go down to this 50% retracement at 18,911.50. That's where I think we're at minimum going to go. And this, I mean, it is designed to stop traders out, but this is just how the markets move. You know, they move from 50% level to 50% level, sometimes to sell side, sometimes to buy side, but that's just how the markets move. Like, there's not really much more you can ask for. This is how algorithms should move price. Wow, I am pooped. Low energy today, guys. Not going to lie. Low energy today. Hold on, guys. Yeah, guys, slow day for sure. Slow day. Slow day, slow day. Hopefully my next hotel has a chair. I'm not gonna lie. I need some back support. Need some freaking back support, boys and girls. Really need some back support. So, guys, the target now is this 50% retracement. Maybe we get something to it. Maybe we don't. The name of the game is patience, but there were 2 trades that you should have taken today if you're a profitable trader. This IFEG right here was decent up to this data high, even though, so guys, even if the 830 candle doesn't, if there's like something that takes it out, if it's the next candle afterwards on the 1-minute chart, then you can use this as the next draw on liquidity. Like, this should become the actual data wick high. And as you can see, IFEG, we took it up to the data high and the 50% retracement level. And then once we got this, right, that was a pretty nice IFEG setup. But it was a little bit sketchy because we did have these equal highs here that we were expecting to get taken out too. So this is not a bad setup, guys. I'm not going to lie, actually. On the 2-minute chart, we have this nice, obvious fair value gap, right? If we can close above that on the 2-minute chart and make it an IFEG, then you could probably target, let's see, let's draw the 50%. You can target this internal high. That would be my take profit, to be honest. It's like less of a, not a great RR trade, but a high probability trade in my eyes. Let's see what's going on Twitter. I'm bored. I'm bored. Bored. So funny listening to all these people on Twitter talking about meme coins and how they get dumped on. Like, how many times do you have to get destroyed to learn your lesson? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, either they're just joking or they're just idiots. Like, I don't know what it is. So apparently on Twitter you can type in, what is it? Generate an image of me based on my profile. So I'm going to write generate an image of me based on all of my posts. Let's see what image I get. Oh my god. It just literally just drew a girl. Here, let me show you guys. That is the image of me. Lovely. Okay, guys, so this is the next setup. It would be this 2-minute IFAG, right? Personally, I am done for the day. But this would be the position, right, guys? It would be close to a 1-to-1. So you'd want to see a 2-minute close above this FEG, and then you would target this internal high. Let's see what we get, though. I mean, like I said, right now my draw is still lower. I want this 50% retracement of the last leg up. But that doesn't mean that the market makers aren't going to take the market up to this internal high to stop out longs at some point, right? Okay, there's the 2-minute close, guys. So you can try this if you really want to. But keep in mind, why is the macro... Is the 1050 macro on here? 1050 to 1110. It's there. So why is it not showing up on my chart? Weird. $10.50. Yeah, so we're not quite at the 1050 macro yet, just keep in mind. But this isn't a terrible setup. Risk is defined, reward is defined. If you want to reduce your risk, you can take this on a pullback, for example. Like, you could wait for it to maybe hit this level right here and then try it. But my bias is still down, so I wouldn't take this personally because I want to see this level get taken out first. I only take, with real cash accounts, I only take a trade that has extremely high probabilities, guys. This has a decent probability of working, but it also has a high chance of not working because the draw for me, my bias is still down. So why am I taking trades with full size, or just in general, why am I risking over trading and going on tilt and losing on a trade that's just not ultimately high probability? It's not worth it. That is what separates a profitable trader from a non-profitable trader. People that just are willing to take whatever because they're bored and they want to see if they can make money, they end up losing over time. But the person that is disciplined and decides if it's going to be an A+ setup or not, those are the ones that are going to win. It's that simple. Look at that. Rejection. So I was right for now. The draw is obviously still lower, seemingly lower now. You guys see how after the market delivers not to one set of liquidity, but two sets of liquidity, it starts to slow down and it doesn't behave the same way that it should. Oh, guys, also, you see, not a fan. There is a 5-minute IFEG right here, right? But we also have another 5-minute FEG right here. So I'd need to see it close above both of these for me to switch my bias to bullish again. This looks pretty bearish, I'm not gonna lie. Whew. Wow, what terrible PA. Not a surprise though. Like I said, we took two sets of liquidity. The 50% of the leg and now data lows. It's no surprise that the market is not behaving properly now. Look at this, guys. We closed just one tick above on the 2-minute here, and now we are rejecting. So this could easily just continue lower. I mean, I'm in favor of that happening, but again, this is not the place to take a trade. This is where you just watch price because this is not high probability. I mean, we could easily re-inverse this and take out this internal high, but we could also easily come back down and take this low out and then reach 50%. We could just chop around here until the 1050 macro. There's like too many different possibilities here. Let's look at the 5-minute quick. Yeah, there's not really any new week opening gaps until this level right here. Yeah, guys, this looks like we're forming a bearish order block. Yeah, this is going down for sure. Okay, we just took out an internal sell side, right there. This is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. That's a good RR setup. You could take this short here if you really wanted to. Stop to break even would be at this internal low right here. Bam. Bam. And equal highs get taken out right now. Oh, so close. But they will for sure get taken out. Don't worry. We'll probably get one candle here, and then it'll continue down. And at this point, I fully expect this 50% level to get taken out as well. And boom, there is the equal highs that I told you guys about that act as liquidity. And now we're probably going to go down even further to 18,911.50. You guys see how good of a setup this was? I would have taken this with a super small light size on an evil account. Look at that. Delete this. Just perfect. Oh my god. So your stop would have been a 1 minute close back above. First take profit would be these equal highs. And second take profit. Let's make this smaller first. Second take profit is going to be at the 50% retracement. All right, guys, we're just waiting here. Okay, I'll be right back. Yeah, so I think now the market's probably going to slow down here. I'm not going to lie. But TP1 is already hit, so your stop should be at break even now, right? Your stop at break even would be at this exact close of the candle right here. You're probably going to get stopped out realistically here, but it's possible that you don't. So we might get a rejection from this fair value gap. Yeah, guys, I don't. You might be looking at this fair value gap and thinking, oh, we might get an inverse here, but we have two fair value gaps, right? So I don't like this setup. I don't like it when there's two fair value gaps in a leg. It's not ideal. You want to see an obvious singular fair value gap, right? I mean, you could use the 2-minute as something that you would potentially take, but still not a huge fan of it.
Of diplomacy and understands this is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day. This is
Guys, Kamala Harris is ridiculous. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. She's an idiot. Literally the dumbest woman that's ever run for... The dumbest person that's ever run for president, in my opinion. Like, the way that she speaks is unbelievably dumb. She can't formulate a sentence. It's terrible. And that's the person you want to run our country when we're on the brink of potentially another WAR? Right? Hell no. Okay, guys, so you were stopped out if you took that short. Now, if we close above this 1 minute, we're probably going to go back up to this internal high. So that could be a nice scalp trade if you guys wanted to try it. I think that would work with a pretty high level of certainty. Let's look at the 5 minute quick. Nothing. 3 minute. That's actually pretty bullish, I'm not going to lie. But this is the one that you should pay attention to right here. This 3 minute. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty bullish, guys. I'm not going to lie. I think we're going to this internal high. In fact, I will paper trade it. And I may or may not be in this on a live account somewhere else. Just saying. May or may not. Just for a very tiny scalp, 1-for-1 trade. Why do I like this? We inverse the 3 minute. That's purely the only reason. We've taken a significant amount of sell side. We inverse the 3 minute. Again, I've already made some big money today, so this is just going to be a tiny scalp. I'm risking 30% of my profits on the day on this trade. So again, 3 minute inverse. We took out a data low. We took out these equal. This was a previous equal high level. That's why that level is still marked. It acted as a magnet for price. And now I am, again, may or may not be in a live trade. This is a paper trade, obviously. I don't post my real trades on the computer for legal reasons. But this is a decent scalp in my eyes, up to this internal high. This is what low time frame scalping looks like with good amounts of money, because obviously with NQ contracts, one contract is just tiny move, right? It's like 20 points is $400. So it's a 1-to-1 trade, again, risking 30% of my profits on the day. If it wins, it wins. If it loses, it loses. And as a trader, you have to accept the risk. And if you lose it, and you finish the day. That's it. So let's see what happens. Again, it was a 3 minute inverse, but if we go down to the lower time frames, we also inverse the 2 minute. And on the 1 minute chart, we still have this 1 minute that needs to be balanced, but I think in my eyes, it's worth it to try and long it before the 1 minute inverses, because if it does work here, it's probably just going to do it on one candle. It's not going to wait. So let's see what happens. And another thing that we have to note here is that it is 10:46, so in 4 minutes we have a macro time, right? So we could easily see a pump before the macro, but also within the macro. All right, so up 100, up 130 on the trade. If we hit this internal high right here, I would move your stop to break even. So right there, I'm moving my stop. We might just get stopped out here, but that's part of the game, guys. And by the way, I know it's not registering because this is a paper trade, and for whatever reason, TradingView is just dumb. But you can see now that my stop was moved. And up 300, up 285, 265. We should get this, but let's see. Again, this is part of scalping, guys. You move your stops to break even very quickly. And boom, just like that. Take profit hit. So I know it's not registering, but if you look at my trading account, my equity is moving up, which means that I'm in the trade. And then if we then go back to the account, we are locked in at 102,000 profit there. So scalping, guys, easy money. Again, this is all using IFEGs. On the 1 minute, we had 3 IFEGs, right? And we took out 2 of them with some big momentum. At that point, because we had so many IFEGs on one chart, I moved to the higher time frames, and I noticed that we inversed this 3 minute with big momentum, and that was a singular 3 minute FEG. Right? I'm going to take this blue purple box off here so you guys can see it. So a fair value gap is the low of a candle to the high of the third candle in the leg. So 1, 2, 3. This gap is the fair value gap. We closed above it, and that's a signal to take a long. Oh my gosh. Wow, I should have held this long a little bit longer. But it is what it is, guys. So guys, this setup is working like crazy. 2-minute IFEG and a 3-minute IFEG. Let's see if I add this midnight. Yeah, midnight is at 19,109.75, so that could be where we're headed. Is this correct? No, it's not. See, I don't know what is up with this, but midnight is over here. I don't. Every indicator I use draws it at the 1 a.m. and I'm not sure if I'm just being I'm just being stupid, or if it's just completely off. Let's see if I change it to 23 to 23:01. 23:15. No. What is the open of this candle? 19,108.25. Is that what it's giving us? Yes, it is. All right, so this is... Okay, I'm going to save this. Save as default. All right, so this is actual midnight open right here on NQ. So in theory, that's where we should land. But you should be taking profits right here for sure. We also just passed 50% of the whole move here, right? From this high to this low. So that should be a take profit zone for sure. The internal high right here is the take profit zone. And then midnight should be your final take profit if you're in this.
What that got to do with my baby? Because I got a girlfriend. What that got to do with...
Yeah, so there's that internal high getting taken. We might get some resistance at this 4-hour FEG. Might not. Okay, Tesla's seeing a little bit of a bounce, not really though. Tesla will have its day, guys. Do not worry. Tesla will have its day. SOXL back at 35. All right, guys, we're heading towards midnight open. This internal high, I would take one contract off if I was still in, and I would take the last contract off at the 50% level. Though I do still think that there is a good chance that we could get up to this sell side magnet and then these equal highs right here, and then finally the 50% level of this whole retracement. Possible we could have a big buy day today, like definitely possible, but as you guys, if you didn't know, I'm in Thailand right now, so the time in New York is 11 a.m. already. In LA, it's 8 a.m. So we have 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m. We still have 5 hours left in the market. So definitely possible that we could still have a buy day today. I am like so tired right now, but I'm gonna try and stay up for as long as I can, just in case I have to take profits on QQQ. Just in case. And the world ends, and the world ends. Bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum. Slow and steady wins the race, guys. We're about to hit midnight open. This is where you should take a majority of your profits, and then you can hold runners up to these highs. That is what you can do. Let's look at some trades. So, swing trading. This is one that I am in pretty heavily, and these are all my take profits. McDonald's is an interesting one, that's for sure. So if you look at it on the hourly chart, we're kind of in this bull flag. So this 50% level came from the low to the high. I took my profits off here at the 50% level. UPS, I think, was one that I was looking at. But it's still not at my buy target. This is where I want UPS, in this fair value gap, which comes from... It's not a fair value gap, it's a volume imbalance, my bad. That is where I will be adding UPS for the long term. So from here, it's about a 6% drop. So that's one that I'm looking at. In fact, I'm going to notify the Discord right now on that trade. Let's make a write-up on this. I'm going to make a note to have this write-up done by the end of the day today. We're gonna run financials. Yeah, we're gonna run financials on the company. We're gonna talk about significant risks, positives, and then just general risks on a trade. So the risk reward on this trade will be great. This low was the low from COVID 2020. But it's just incredible. Like, I mean, let's look at the financials quick on this. So overview, we're a $107 billion market cap even after this massive sell-off. EPS is a 6, 5.5% dividend yield. If we look at revenue, I mean, we've been increasing steadily over the years. This year, we did have a 9% decrease in revenue. That was to do with a lot of different things, but I will post a lot of that in the write-up. Operating income is not as consistent as I'd like to see, but it's still not bad. I mean, we're still consistent and then increasing and slightly decreasing over time. Let's look at net income. Net income is not steadily rising, but whoa. How did that happen? I don't know if this is right. Reporting a 4 billion to 12 billion within 1 year. That's pretty crazy. Now, to be fair, it was COVID, but still. And then 12 billion to 11 billion to 6 billion. So that's not bad. Earnings, if we look at it annually projected, we are looking to go up over time for EPS. Revenue, not really growing too crazily. So financially, I mean, the company's doing fine. It's not going to be like a super high growth play, but this is honestly more of a steady, consistent company paying a high dividend that's trading at extreme discounts. So it's basically just a long-term ad with a smaller risk. Right, so let's say we add somewhere in this volume imbalance. Stop, let's just say, would be, I don't know, right here. Take profit would be, I mean, at minimum, this internal high. So that's almost a 3-to-1 trade. Let's see what's going on here. Faye says, do you only trade New York session? Typically I trade New York. I will trade London sometimes while I'm here. I'm in Thailand, if you didn't know, for 3 months. So I'm actually going to be back in Los Angeles on October 15th. So I will trade London occasionally. So for example, today, I'm going to show this to you, Faye, on the NQ charts. Oh wait, that wasn't London. Yeah, it was London actually. Sorry. So this was a trade that I was looking at. We took out this internal sell side liquidity and we bounced off of a 4-hour fair value gap within London. By the way, my London and New York and Asia sessions are drawn a little bit differently to ICT. I do London for this period and then to midnight, and then from midnight to I think 6 o'clock is what I have measured as London. And then everything else is just in between in New York. So for my London session, because I trade with quarterly theory as well, so it's not just ICT, we took out this internal sell side, bounced from a 4-hour FVG, and then we had this IFVG that we closed above, and I took a long up to these equal highs. So that was something I took in my London session this morning when most people were asleep, and then I was just waiting for CPI, and we had this beautiful 1-minute IFVG here that I took. And then my final TP was this 50%. And I wanted to hold some runners, but I got stopped out on the rest. And then we took, obviously, this live trade. I think you saw it when I called it out. And I could have held this for longer, and I think we're still going to go up to midnight opening price. But again, this is I've already made good money today. There's no reason to risk more than I need to and trade, a bunch of times over trading. It's unnecessary. So that was that. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a write-up in the Discord later today for why I'm adding UPS for both financials and technicals. Tesla, also a big ad for sure. Wow, Dell's doing pretty nicely. Wow, this could be an ad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Perfect IFVG setup again. Crazy how this stuff works, guys. So I didn't really like this one too much because it wasn't singular, but we did have a nice close above it, and your stop could be to break even here, targeting this internal high and then the 50% of the leg, which I think we're probably going to go to. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream. To whoever is still watching, best of luck to you. But, again, I think, you know what, maybe we'll just wait until we hit this 50% level. I think we're going to go up to this 50% retracement. But let's see if we get it in the next few candles. As you can see, part of trading is watching and being bored. So guys, it is lunch, so be cautious trading here. All right, guys, let's see if we get the push here. We might just get an IO Fed consolidation, but the ultimate draw here in my eyes is going to be this high. So again, there's no setup anymore, guys. If you should have been in this right here, this was the trade. And because I have made a lot of money today already, I took my profits at this high because it was a basically guaranteed hit. And that was recorded. It's live in this Discord. I mean, in this live stream. So if you want to go back and watch the recording later on YouTube, you will see somewhere around. Well, if you try and look back to the 10:40 minute zone, when you're scrolling through the video, you'll see it right here when I took the trade. But obviously, I missed out on a lot of room for this trade, but it is what it is. You miss out on profits sometimes, but I got a guaranteed 400 there, so I'm happy with that on that trade. So again, guys, we're kind of getting that consolidation or IO Fed.
And this and these. You are looking at 6 different varieties of avocado. If this is the only avocado you've ever tried, then you are missing out. You're missing out on the Russell, which is creamy and buttery. The Pollock, which is actually a sweet avocado. It's got a very rich, sweet flavor. The Donnie, on the other hand, is known to be a very mild avocado.
All right, guys, let's see if we get something here. This should be the move. Let's just get this. Let's get this high out of here so we can get off the charts. Be done for the day. Okay, that's a nice push. Nice. Let's see it continue. I know these markets though, bro. This is the type of move that's going to go back and forth, and then it'll take it out ultimately. But it's going to stop a lot of people out before it does it. It's possible. There's a slim chance it just does it all in one go, but it's definitely more likely that we chop around here. Yeah, if we see this whole green candle get taken out, so if we go all the way back down to this low, I'm logging off, guys. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Let's see this internal high get taken. And then let's see the 50%, and then we're logging off. But I have a strange feeling that today is going to be a buy day. I think when I go to sleep, because right now it is 10:30 at night here. When I go to sleep, we're probably going to get a move back up to high of day and then up to these equal highs. That is where I'm expecting the market to go. If not today, then overnight tonight. So in the next Asia-London session. All right, almost hit TP and dump. Let's see if we take it out. Come on. Take it out so I can get off the computer. Almost. And boom! Did it just form equal highs? Boom! There we go. And now 50%. I mean midnight. Sorry. I don't know why I keep calling it 50%. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Final take profit is going to be the 50% level, and I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, for us to get a buy day to end the day. But best of luck to you guys. Hope you learned something from the stream if you listened in. And yeah, good luck with the rest of your trading.